Literally, I'm wearing like gym tights, a bat top, and a
hipster
thing.
Batman.
By the way, I looked at it the other day. It's actually Batgirl.
Man of the year, man of the year, man of the year. Welcome to the #1 friendship podcast in the country. I'm your host, Matt Ritter.
I'm your co-host, Aaron Karo.
Yeah, I don't know why I said
we never
that.
said that
Should we do
before.
that again?
No, it's going. Keep going.
Guys, please check out our YouTube. We've got a lot of good clips on there too. I feel like it's a little underrated. And you can go to manoftheyearpodcast.com for our merch. Look at the hat this guy is wearing. We have a lot of cool stuff
You
there.
know how they could look at the hat if they go to YouTube.
If they go to YouTube.
Karo, you want to give me a little brow down so we can get
There we go. There it is. Kiro, you know what today is?
What is today?
Halloween, baby.
Oh, I love Halloween.
Why aren't we dressed up?
Oh, yeah, we should have dressed
I know,
up.
we're dressed up as two podcasters. The lowest form of art. I have mixed feelings about Halloween.
I don't know why you say it's my favorite holiday. I don't like Halloween that much.
Well, I just wanted to say it as a contrast for it being my not favorite
Got
holiday
it.
because I got arrested on Halloween.
You know, you mentioned this to me the other day, and how do I not know an arrest story of yours? So many.
It's one of my best stories. So this is college.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know my first arrest in college.
Mm-hmm.
Kiro knows about all my college shenanigans.
Was it an arrest or was it a, what's it called? A 24-hour hold?
It was old. It was a 5150 mental health eval.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
So Halloween, let me set the stage. I'm in Binghamton.
So this is what, 99?
2000.
Okay.
I think 2000. And Halloween 2000, and I'm living at a fraternity house off campus, and all the freshmen and sophomores live on campus, and I'm dating a girl who lived on campus. So I'm wearing a clown costume, and I was like, I'm just going to go surprise her in the dorms. And so I asked this pledge to drive me over, and I'm in full, like, not scary clown, like baby clown, like I don't know.
Do you have white paint on?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Just clown.
Just original OG. Now I feel like everybody thinks like scary clown.
Oh, I see.
I was like the fun clown guy. Big red clown shoes, nose, everything, like a squirter. So he takes me down to the dorm, and I didn't like call her or text her. I just was like, I'm going to show up.
Well, because there were no cell phones.
Yeah, I just like show up, you know? So yeah, you just have to show up at somebody's dorm at 1 a.m. And so I just said to the pledge, I'm like, you got to get me in the building. He's like, how? I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. Just get me in that building. So he just breaks the window.
Oh, what?
I'm like, that's not what I meant, dude.
How have I not heard this story?
So he just breaks the window, opens the door, the alarm goes off. I'm like, he just takes off running. I'm in this clown costume.
Yeah.
The girl I'm dating comes out.
Yeah.
She's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I can't, surprise. So we go to her room. I forgot to tell you this part. So as I was leaving, this guy who was like just the biggest degenerate of all of SUNY Binghamton, which is saying something, was like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to the door. He's like, can I come with you? I'm like, yeah.
So you brought a random guy with you.
I brought a random guy with me, which is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So we get there and we all like scrambling. He comes with me. She's like, what's doing here? I'm like, I don't know. Can he come in? So she's like, where? I'm like, I don't know. He'll hang out in the lounge. So he like hung out in the lounge at the pool table.
Okay.
And I go to her room.
Yeah.
Get all my clown stuff off. We're like planning to hook up with this girl. All of a sudden I hear the cops. They're in the hallway. And all of a sudden I hear Diane, I didn't do nothing. So they're like looking around the halls, whatever. So I'm like, all right, I got to go out. And like, this guy's going to do something stupid. I don't want him like hitting a cop, you know?
That's my job.
So I walk over to the police in my most sober impression. And I'm like,
now you were wearing street
clothes. Everything off.
Yeah. Are you still white paint?
I took everything off.
Okay.
So I walk over to them and I go, what seems to be the problem, officers? They're like, what seems to be the problem? Somebody like aggressively, like somebody broke a window in this dorm and then ran away. We got a report that there was somebody in a clown costume in red shoes, like aggressively towards me. And I'm like, that's crazy. They're like, so what shoes were you wearing tonight? And I looked down and I'm not wearing shoes. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I was wearing, the old Chuck Taylors, whatever. And meanwhile, the girl I'm dating, her door like faces one of the exits to this lounge. And so like I see the other cop walking over with giant red clown shoes that were not hidden very well
you
in
left
a
them
room. In a room.
She went
left
into
the door open.
That's,
She was
isn't
looking
that
what's going
illegal?
on. Probably illegal search.
Yeah, you're a lawyer.
Exactly. So they come back and they're like, do you know who these are? I'm like, I have no idea who those are. And they're like, you have no idea. I'm like, I have no idea. And then the guy looks at me and he squirts my little water thing. And I realized that in my drunken stupor, all I did was take off the shoes and the wig. I took off nothing else. I was still wearing a full clown costume.
Nose?
The squirter. No, I think I took the nose off, but I still had the white paint on. I literally did the bare minimum to get rid of that disguise. And they're like, I was like, oh, actually, I think I was wearing those red shoes. So anyway, they arrested me. Parents called, humiliation, degradation, handcuffs.
What?
Yeah, the whole thing. I told them what happened. I said it was an accident. He accidentally broke the thing, whatever. And I ended up having to reimburse. I did do like community service.
Oh my God.
But the worst part is when you got arrested back then, I don't think I hope they can't do this anymore. They could put your name in the paper and like shame you.
Oh,
so in the back of the SUNY pipe dream or something.
Yeah.
The Binghamton pipe dream, it said that I had been arrested in a clown costume.
No, it said in a clown
I
costume?
think so, yeah.
First of all, how do you not save that? Second of all, what's the name of the paper?
The pipe dream?
Theo,
Look at that. I think it was called
it's
the
the
Pipe
SUNY
Dream.
Binghamton school newspaper?
I think so.
Or the
No, but
Binghamton town newspaper?
No, it was a school paper, but I think there was also like a student offshoot.
Got it.
The pipe dream, pipe bomb.
SUNY is SUNY.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is our Halloween episode.
Halloween,
what a friendship fail, I guess, on your pledge.
Yeah.
This is another sort of. I just want to get your take on this. We have a good friend, Cody, who's into horror. She loves horror.
She's very big into
Cody Loves Horror is actually her Instagram. Check it out. And she, I don't know if you know this, she visits houses that murders happened.
like Amityville Horror House kind of thing.
Yeah.
Manson's house.
But even ones that are like more obscure murders. She's like into it.
So obscure that the people who own the home don't even know there was a murder
well,
there.
that was my question. You're a proud homeowner. You don't shut up about it. Would you ever buy a house that was a murder house?
It's very funny you say this because I think I would. Only because the last house I bought in Koreatown was not a murder house, but it had been used as a senior living center. So not only
People died there.
one person, you're talking 40 or 50 people had died in that house.
Yeah.
But good deaths, presumably.
Old,
Unless there was elder abuse.
Yeah. Old age is a good death.
Right.
So my thing is I definitely buy a murder house. I don't want looky-loos. I feel like, did we already talk about this?
Right. So you don't want Cody and her
right.
ilk
I don't want Cody
around
standing outside my Instagram in my house.
peeking in.
Yeah.
They're worse than looky-loos. Because, like, if your house is a horror house, the people who come are really into it.
Right.
So it's not a looky-loo. Looky-loos are, like, casual.
Yeah.
The people who are into, like, murder houses, like, they could be obsessed with your house.
So almost like a watcher situation.
Yeah. It's like a watcher sitch. So it's definitely worse.
But what about just like the fact that in this room someone was murdered?
That could care less.
Yeah. I was like, what's the discount?
Yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal?
Yeah. So Halloween is sort of
I prefer somebody to get murdered in the house, actually.
Halloween is like a peak friendship holiday. Like it's not something you really do with your family, yes. But when you're, before you're married or whatever, that's like that's a friendship holiday.
What a phase. What a phase.
Did you ever do, how do I explain this? A couple's costume, but with friends, like a joint costume?
I did a Dr. Evil and Mr. Powers.
Yeah.
Why did I say
Austin Powers?
Why did I just say Mr. Powers?
Yeah.
Mr. Powers.
Yeah.
So we walked around the party the whole time, like kind of like doing stuff to each other.
Yeah.
Like around the room. That was a good one.
Right.
One of our friends and I, we did the ice skaters from Blades of Glory.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dude,
How about
you? Our friend's brother, I'm just not gonna name him, but him and his buddies I think when they were in college, did a costume. They dressed up as Duke Lacrosse.
Ooh. Those guys were innocent.
They were innocent.
Yeah.
They were innocent.
Hey,
this was in the height
But
of
this was when they were not presumed innocent.
Walking around Vegas dressed as Duke Lacrosse. People were trying to kill them.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you are sort of legendary or famous for some of your legendary Halloween parties. Let's, tie ourselves back to friendship again for a second. Like, do you like, is a Halloween party at all sort of exclusive? Because like Halloween party requires work to show, like you have to put a costume on. Like not everybody wants to do that. Like, do you find that to be exclusionary?
Quite the contrary. I live by the model of it's nice to get dressed up sometimes.
Well, being dressed up as Freddy Krueger doesn't count as getting dressed up.
No, but it does. I just think we're so used to not doing anything special ever.
Okay, it's fair.
That it's like, if somebody asks you to dress up for a party, like, why do you have to be the person that's like, I'm not dressing up?
I feel for costumes, at a certain point, you got a kid, you could dress the kid up in a cute costume, or you can do a couple costume.
Yeah.
If you're kind of a single guy or single gal at a certain age, it's a little juvenile.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But I also think like, okay, so you're single.
Yeah.
Have you ever not dressed up for a Halloween party? Isn't it in your interest?
No, you just don't go.
You just don't go.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like the people who go not dressed up, it's like, what are you doing?
Does people do that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, I'm not suggesting
why are you
that.
why are you gonna go to a party?
Do you know people who
I've just seen it. I've seen it.
Just don't go.
Just don't go.
I feel like people just have parties on Halloween or like get-togethers, and then half the people are in costumes, half aren't.
What?
Yeah, that's a bad ratio. That's a bad ratio. Half the people not in costumes.
So
I think it's nice. I think it's nice.
Yeah, it's
if
fun.
It's like, hey, like, we did the Gatsby Halloween, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a nice excuse for people to get dolled up.
But you also did that because you already have that from like some other party, some 20s gear.
No, I rented a tux.
Oh, okay. That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That was the year that I went to a different party because I wanted to branch out. That other party sucked. So I spent $100 on Uber to go to your party. And then by the time I got there, it was pretty much done.
Yeah, it was over.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Also, what I have is I have a costume I could go to that's pretty low lift.
Good tip.
Yeah. Just have a costume. I mean, if you're of a certain age, you must have a costume somewhere. If you've ever been to a Halloween party, I have a coach's outfit. So it's like a polo shirt, visor, whistle, and then a bunch of Coachella bracelets. And it says Ella on the visor. It's Coachella. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
And then I have like a Batman.
I've seen your Batman. We wore it for like a sketch here.
Yes, we wore it for a sketch. It's literally I'm wearing like gym tights, a bat top, and a
hipster Batman.
By the way, I looked at it the other day. It's actually Batgirl. Yeah.
No.
Wow. I don't think it. No. Yeah. Those are like.
But when you bought it in the Halloween store, usually it's like Batgirl.
I didn't realize.
Oh my God.
So it looks like pecs, but they're boobs.
That is.
Is that the first time that he's ever gone?
Well, I was thinking the pecs were super well defined in the sketch that we did. Like,
yeah.
Because they're boobs.
Yeah, because they're boobs. Because they're boobs. Yeah.
So a couple things I like about Halloween related to friendship. One is it's easy to contact your casuals. It's a really good excuse to contact the extended. Like, hey, you doing anything for Halloween? Like, that's just some people that you don't normally feel that comfortable going, hey, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
For Halloween, it's a lot easier. You got those third tier friends where you're like, see them once a year. That's the time to be like, hey, hey, I heard about this good party. You want to come, be the friend.
Right. Well, we always talk about birthdays are sometimes a missed opportunity because people are like, well, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. I mean, I guess I'm going against my own thing of, I don't want to celebrate Halloween. Halloween's dumb. Halloween is an excuse to be social. You don't have to. People just are putting on a little cat costume, which is basically little ears and nothing. Like, you don't have to go crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's a very social, fun,
People's guard is so down.
Because they're wasted?
Yeah, they're wasted and they're wearing bee costumes. It's hard to be serious. It's hard to be stuck up and judgy when you're,
that's true. And if you're the kind of person who goes all out, everybody loves that.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I agree. You get compliments. It's an easy. We always talk about wearing something as a conversation starter. Like, you already have a baked in conversation starter. So for introverts, I think this is a great holiday.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good call. Good costume. People come up to you.
People come up to you.
Yeah.
Or when you're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know if they're going to like what I'm saying. If you say cool costume, you're going to get a good response.
Yeah. Love your costume.
Yeah. And then I'm not wearing a costume.
Right. This is what I just said.
I would say Halloween for an introvert is an easy holiday to like back out of though, because you're kind of like, oh, I have to go get this thing and I have to get invited to a party and like costumes are stupid anyways. I'm just going to stay home. So I guess what would you say to that?
Well, I didn't realize it was so easy to back out until you put that idea in their heads, Theo.
Yeah, no, he is right. He is right. There are probably a lot of people that self-select out of it because they see it as a gregarious, like aggressive kind of thing.
I think you just go with that fucking cat. You got white sleeves. White, what are these called?
Paws?
Gloves, paws, and a little cat thing. That's it.
Also submit that if you're somebody who's a little insecure at parties, introvert, or feel judged, it's much easier to be a wallflower at a Halloween party. Like
you're wearing a mask.
Under a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, wear a mask.
Yeah, I will say, just remind me.
You can cover your emotional mask with a Batman mask.
with a literal mask. I went to a regular costume party. Talk about regular costume party. It was what's the thing down the rabbit hole? Why can't I think of the name of Alice in Wonderland themed? Yeah. And people had the whole thing. I literally went on Amazon, searched rabbit costume because white rabbit. Searched low to high, $9. I had a little tail, the little thing. And white thing, it was the life of the party.
$11.
$11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prime, Amazon Prime that my mom pays for.
Yeah. It's not that hard. So I feel like Halloween is, why am I calling it Halloween?
I don't know. It's very strange.
Why did I call it Halloween? Does anybody say Halloween?
What are you supposed to say?
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah.
Halloween? What do you say?
Now I'm confused.
Halloween. Is it Halloween or Halloween?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Is that a regional thing? I think people here say Halloween.
Halloween.
What do you say?
Halloween.
Halloween.
No, that's hollow. No.
Yeah, Matt's saying with an O. Hollow.
That's what I usually say. I usually say Halloween.
Halloween.
That's insane.
Like Sleepy Halloween.
Like All Hallows Day.
Yeah, like All Hollow. No, hollow.
No.
Like knock, knock. It's hollow.
All right, can we go to a listener question? I'm dying for this.
Asking for a friend.
All right, guys, this is Asking for a Friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us at Instagram/Man of the Year podcast, and we will answer it on the show. Now, this isn't a Halloween question, but I just think it's really, really interesting.
That'll be good.
It actually comes from Roger. Yeah, who's like one of our super fans. Love this guy. So he goes, I have a really close friend who I'm convinced I remain close to because he makes me feel good, but in a bad way. We met in high school. We're now about 65. Okay, great. And while I married early, he married late. My kids are grown and doing well. His kids are younger and going through the typical kid difficulties. I'm thinking of retiring. He's still got tuition payments and dermatologists. Also, throughout the years, I've kept my hair. Him, not so much.
Roger throwing shit.
Yeah, love it. And that kills him. I've also kept pretty fit. He's put on weight. I'm taller. He's shorter. Here's my question. Am I the asshole for keeping this thing going? He's a really good friend, but I'm wondering what my own motives are.
I'd say, first of all, this is our first AITA.
Yeah. And he actually, for a 65-year-old, he did AITA, which we should say stands for Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that Reddit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So AITI is explained as...
I find AITA is funny because they're usually like egregiously, like obviously.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Right. These are people writing into Reddit, Am I the Asshole? And they give an example.
And we love Roger. Maybe we should have given him a different name.
No,
he get back to his friend.
He loves it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. His fat, bald,
fat, balding loser
with
friend
problem
who
children.
Keeps around as a toy to feel good about himself.
Yeah.
That's basically what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, is that wrong?
Yeah.
So, okay. I have a few thoughts.
Okay.
He's expressing his private thoughts to us.
Right.
And I think a lot of us have these private thoughts about.
This is why I keep you around.
Yes, I was just going to say that. So which one is it?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, a lot of us think that we are doing better or worse than some of our friends. Like that's a fact, right? And a lot of times you're going to be doing better than some friends and worse than others, right? And I think there's some truth to the fact that whether we want to lie about it or not, it does make you feel good to compare yourself to people you're doing better than. I mean, that's just like reality, right? Like that's just like human nature. And conversely, it doesn't feel that good to compare yourself to people that are doing better than you, right? So Roger may have unwittingly, opened up the box of like, well, what about my friends who are doing better than me, than Roger? You know what I mean? Like, what about looking at the whole prism of it, Roger? Like, if you pull back, you may have some friends that view you as not as their kids aren't as successful,
Right.
and have less hair than old Raj, and are even fitter than Raj. There's always somebody doing better than you.
Yeah.
There's always somebody with more money. There's always somebody with more hair, you know?
All natural, right?
All natural.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not on 20 years of Propeach. Somebody who's not on Ozempic, you know, naturally thin. So I just think you can have those thoughts and still genuinely care about somebody. That's my first take.
Well, but what about him? If it's private thoughts, I mean, I guess you're kind of saying, who cares?
I think what I'm saying is separate that from your actual intentions with your friendship. Do you have your friend's best interests at heart? Like, it's not like, am I pushing my friend down so I can rise up?
Right.
I think he's just like, to be honest, it sounded to me like a guy who's like now become our buddy expressing his private thoughts.
Right.
You know, and like,
Right.
we don't usually do that stuff, right? That he's like, I think he's being like pretty raw.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to be honest, right? If we're going to be honest, I think everybody has these thoughts to some degree, but I think it's less about having those thoughts of like, am I doing better than my friend? I never ask myself like why I keep friends around based on like their status.
Well, you
know?
talked about your propensity to be surrounded by sad sacks.
Well, I think part of that is because I'm a good listener, but I also have like a lot of people of all ranges, but
Right.
yes.
But that doesn't explain why you want the sad sacks.
But I
around.
don't want them around.
Okay.
I wouldn't prefer to keep them around. Actually,
Right.
when I think about it, I'm like,
Right.
oh, I would prefer not to have them around. I have a hard time saying no to people.
So, I mean, is there an analogy to be drawn here where Roger is around a sad sack and he likes it?
Yeah. That's the question. Is he doing it to make himself feel good, or does it just so happen that when he starts comparing himself to his friends, he feels good about this comparison?
Oh, I have a good one. I'm actually surprised you haven't
Okay.
said this because you're always good at this stuff. He is projecting a lot of stuff onto this guy. That guy could be like,
Absolutely.
that guy could not give a shit. He likes being bald or
Right.
whatever.
He could be very happy. By
Yeah.
the way, his kids, I'm sure he loves his kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And doesn't see them as having a difficult
Right.
phase.
right.
My kids are going through their blue period.
Right. He just must be through dermatologists out there. Jesus. He threw
Yeah.
the whole family under the
Gosh,
bus. He's
gosh, yeah.
pockmarked.
Yeah, he's pockmarked. I mean, look, obviously I keep Karo around because he's, you know, sad and lonely and single. And, no, he's thriving. You know,
Yeah.
maybe he keeps me around because he's like, fucking loser.
Every
with
time your
babies.
fucking stupid fucking roof caves in.
Oh, yeah.
From
Like
the
a homeowning idiot.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm bankrupt. I'm like, doo-doo-doo. You know, listen, that's,
Yeah.
well, maybe is that what friendship
Is
is
that what
about?
friendship is? Just thinking you're better than your friends. Look, I'm just saying, I think that for being honest, everybody on some level feels this way about some of their friends or feels jealous of some of their other friends.
Yeah.
That's not why or why not about friendship. But if that's the reason for your friendship, yeah, you've got problems, you know?
I mean, if there's a buddy who you are genuinely good friends with, he likes you, you like him, but every time you hang out with him, he's always got some calamity going on, and it kind of gives you perspective.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that bad?
Right. Well, you're saying it's a good thing to hang out with the person. Look, I think, I don't know, man. I think
What's the harm? What harm
there's
is
no
being
harm.
caused?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Unless you're intentionally, like, as I said, stepping on this guy's throat to rise up,
Right.
like, it's okay to be friends with somebody that you know, but I don't think genuinely you should feel that way, like, frequently. I think it's okay to have these, like, inner thoughts of, like, you know,
Right.
this guy's kind of a sad sack. Like, thank God, you know, my life's pretty good.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel grateful for what you have, great.
Right.
But if you're like, oh, I hang out with this guy just to give me a pick me up, like,
Yeah.
hey, honey, I'm going to go hang out with Rod. I'm going to go hang out with Steve. Wait till I come back. I'm going to be feeling pretty good about
Spring in my
myself.
step. I do suppose there's a kind of a trope of every friend group's got like the loser guy.
Right. Do they keep him around? Does every friend group keep around one loser so the rest of them can feel good?
Or just like, it's usually the one that they can kind of shit on.
Right.
Which doesn't really sound like
The punching bag of the crew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's punching down on this guy.
Yeah, I think they're doing fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the question again.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if you're treating him that way, I think that's the part of it that matters more, Roger. Are you treating him that way? If you're treating him fairly and kindly and not looking down on him and judging him all the time, I think you're okay.
It also, is it possible that like Roger is kind of doing a little rationalizing of his like, well, I'm doing pretty well, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I definitely don't think your friendships should be grounded in needing to feel better than somebody.
Right.
But as I said, I think the flip side is, you're all going to have people that are doing better or worse than you in life. And your friendship should be about genuinely caring about them, respecting them, trusting them. And if you have all those things going on, I think it's okay that, sometimes you have a, good laugh about your hairline.
By the way, he at the end, he says, he's a really good friend, but I'm wondering about my motives. Just be a really good friend back.
Yeah. Just be a good friend.
Yeah.
And it's okay to, I'm giving Roger permission to be an honest human who has.
Well, don't be honest with this
No,
guy.
I'm saying, I'm giving Roger permission to be honest with himself. It's okay for you to sometimes think you're better than your friends or worse than other friends. And that's just, but I also think your satisfaction has to come from within in life. Like you shouldn't get your own personal satisfaction based on comparing yourself to people. I think it's not a very healthy way to go through life in general, separate from friendship. Because we're in Hollywood, playing that game can have disastrous consequences for your health.
Well, he goes, I married early, he married late. I'm like, so Roger, you're the one who fucked up. Like, I don't know. Nothing there. I'm not really that impressed with Roger's life, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Roger, you should have come with a few more fastballs.
No, we're kidding, Roger.
Yeah.
We
love you, Roger. It sounds like you're doing okay.
Did we ever talk about? Wasn't Roger the one who had the crazy tradition?
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about it?
I think maybe we did. He's got his Roger friend traditions. Yeah.
But wasn't it like someone dies?
Roger, send us your W-2.
No, I don't think we talked about it. That when one of the friend group dies, they all bury like a time capsule or something.
I don't know if that's Roger.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah. Roger, send us your W-2 before you send us such a cocky email.
Wow, we turned on Roger. Don't fucking write us again, Roger. Asking for a friend is people with real problems. No, we're joking.
We love you, Roger.
We love you.
Asking for a friend.
And now is asking for a friend. If you have a real problem, hit us up on Instagram and we'll answer it after the show. You wanted to talk about Halloween viewing parties?
We have some friends that do Halloween viewing parties where they watch horror movies. And I think that's a good tradition.
Oh, yeah, I'm not invited anymore. They didn't invite me.
I don't think I am either.
Bombay, Claire, and Fireball Adam. I don't think they're doing it this year. Oh. But remember, they stopped inviting me because I complained too much.
During the movie. What do you like? I think he's going to kill him now? Like that kind of stuff?
No, I just think the movie we watched, I think it was called Cabin in the Woods, which is like, it's a classic. It was just so, I didn't like it.
You're like, it's so obvious. He's in the woods.
I'm just like, I didn't give good commentary.
Okay.
So I wasn't invited, which is fine.
But I do think Halloween viewing parties is another easy one.
Yeah.
Like an excuse to get people over. Hey, we're going to watch a marathon of these horror movies.
Right. By the way, do you like horror movies?
No, I hate them. I'm too close to age where a heart attack is a real possibility.
I have never seen a horror movie because I'm too afraid.
What about
of it.
like Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, we were kids.
Yeah.
But like everyone's been trying to get me to watch Barbarians.
Yeah.
You've heard
Barbarian.
of Barbarian. You've heard of it?
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I guess we're both not horror guys.
Literally, dude, it's on, I think, Max. I watched the first 22 minutes until I could tell it was about to go down. Don't tell me what happens. And I stopped it and I haven't been able to go back.
No, I did the exact same thing.
Okay. Yeah. So you haven't seen it?
No, I watched the first 22 minutes and I stopped it.
Yeah.
So Jessie was in a horror movie, a pretty big one called The Monkey's Paw.
Oh, I do remember
Yeah, she gets murdered.
Yeah.
By
pretty
big actor, Stephen Lang.
Yeah, I love Stephen Lang. Didn't they also make out?
I didn't even realize they had made out. We just watched it a couple weeks ago. Our friends were staying with us.
Yeah.
And they were like, Jessie, we want to see one of your old movies. And so we started watching it. All of a sudden, she's sucking face with Stephen Lang.
Their tongue?
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, you never told me this.
Yeah. We talked about it when it happened.
Oh, really? Oh, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I remember it. I put it in my spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's in
put it in my spreadsheet of kisses, smooches that Matt's wife has had. Oh, man. So what did we learn today?
Halloween, the lowest hanging fruit for friendship. Just grab that low hanging fruit.
Yeah, any costume, great conversation starters.
Introverts, you can be a wallflower, hide under a mask.
Theo, anything that we screwed up? This is Erroneous with Thelonious.
So it is the Binghamton Pipe Dream is the official name of the magazine. Couldn't find any mentions of a Matt Ritter. There's some other Ritters that had some, bad articles about them, but not Matt.
By the way, Binghamton Pipe Dream is the worst name for a school newspaper ever. Because it's like, if you're in Binghamton, well, you have a pipe dream.
Yeah. You want to be successful in life? What a pipe dream.
So let's do some shouts. So we actually got a great shout, and I knew, Matt, you were going to love this. So this is a shout out from Robert, and he says, first of all, love the podcast and been a huge fan of Karo for about 20 years now.
He loves all these ones that are like,
I actually forgot about that part. I was like, Matt's going to love this. No, it was me who was going to love it. He's going to love it. And then he says, it's genuinely amazing to hear the two of you making each other laugh. Can I get a shout out to my friend Owen Fletcher Morgan? Make sure you say his middle name. Everyone should have a friend like Owen. Fantastic guy that moves heaven and earth for his friends without a moment of hesitation. We've been friends for over 25 years now. He was my older brother's best friend, so refers to himself as my best friend-in-law, which I like. Many years ago, he and my brother had a falling out, and during this time, I got promoted from the annoying little brother of the friendship group to a full-fledged member, stealing my brother's seat at the monthly poker table.
I really don't hear this very often.
Never given it up. In the last few months, he's unfortunately lost his awesome dog, Bruce. His sister's had some health issues, and he just wants to shout out because he's an amazing, awesome guy.
Shout out to Owen.
Love it. Shout out to...
I'm just saying I love this. Maybe I'm blanking, but is this the first time somebody's written in to shout out their friend?
No, we've had a few.
We've had a few shout outs. Last time we did some shout outs.
But usurping brother.
Yeah. We have to talk about that. If you guys want to shout out a friend or you want to shout yourself, hit us up on Instagram, Man of Your Podcast, and we will do it on the show. That is our show. Be good to yourself. Be good to your friends.
Love you, buddy.